Chapter 22. Matt drove east on Interstate 30 toward Arlington. The mid-afternoon sun glared off his windshield as he weaved through the typical DFW traffic. He'd left Vista Ridge 40 minutes ago. Earlier, Principal Fogg had given her name as someone to talk to regarding the gods, but refused to elaborate. Matt knew she had taught chemistry at Vista Ridge for about a year and left abruptly. Fogg refused to elaborate. Fogg's evasiveness told Matt this was worth pursuing. His call to Potter had been frustrating. At first, she'd flatly refused to meet with him. "I don't think I can help you, Agent Barry." "Miss Potter, I'm investigating a double homicide. 2 young men are dead. Anything you know could help." "I haven't been at Vista Ridge for over a year. I don't see how—" Principal Fogg suggested you might have information about a group called the Gods. He seemed to think it was connected to why you left. A long silence had followed. "Ms. Potter?" "Fine," she'd finally said. "You can come by this afternoon, but I really don't know what you think I can tell you." Matt turned into the apartment complex. He parked in a visitor spot and checked the unit number again. 217. He found it on the second floor overlooking a small community pool. Matt knocked and waited. The door opened and Matt found himself facing a woman younger than he'd expected, mid-20s at most, with long, straight brown hair that fell past her shoulders. Attractive. "Brittany Potter?" Matt asked, showing his badge. "Special Agent Matt Barry, Texas Bureau of Investigation." "Yes," she nodded. "I'm still not sure how I can help you." "I appreciate you making time to talk with me," Matt said. "May I come in?" She hesitated, then stepped back, opening the door wider. "Of course. Please have a seat," she said, gesturing to a couch. Matt sat while Brittany perched on the edge of an armchair across from him, hands folded tightly in her lap. "Ms. Potter, as I mentioned on the phone, I'm investigating the murders of Raymond Merrick and Ed Black. I heard about it on the news. It's terrible, but I don't know anything about what happened. I understand. I'm not here because I think you're connected to the murders directly," Matt clarified. "I'm trying to gather background information on these boys, specifically about the gods." Brittany's expression tightened. "What would you like to know?" Principal Fogg was notably silent about why you left Vista Ridge. When I asked if it had anything to do with the gods, he changed the subject. Matt paused, watching her reaction. "That gave me the impression there might be a connection." Brittany looked away. "I'm uncomfortable talking about this." "Brittany, I need to be clear about something. 2 students have been murdered. I'm trying to find out why and by whom." He emphasized the next point. "I'm not interested in any other matters. I don't care if you smoked a joint with students. I don't care if you violated school policy. I don't care if you sold drugs. I don't care if you slept with the football team. Those things might be important to other people, but they're not important to me." Brittany's shoulders slumped slightly, the rigid posture finally giving way. She brushed a strand of hair behind her ear and took a deep breath. "Vista Ridge was my first job out of graduate school. I was so excited to teach chemistry and biology. You spend all those years studying, imagining what it'll be like to have your own classroom." She paused, looking down at her hands. "Raymond and his friends were some of my brightest students. Articulate, engaged, always asking thoughtful questions. They made me feel like I was making a difference." A sad smile flickered across her face. "It seemed to be everything I had hoped teaching would be." "Go on," Matt said. "I didn't see any harm in communicating with them outside of school. It was always about classwork. They were eager to learn." Matt decided to cut through the narrative. "I'm going to guess sex is involved." The directness of his question hit her like a physical blow. Tears welled in her eyes, spilling over before she could wipe them away. Her shoulders shook with silent sobs. "It's okay. I'm a good listener." She nodded, taking several moments to compose herself. "Yes," she finally managed, the word barely audible. "I'm not recording this conversation, and I have a poor memory. Tell me what happened from the beginning." Brittany took a shaky breath. The text started innocently enough. Questions about homework, due dates, normal student-teacher communications. But then Raymond's messages became flirtatious. "I should have shut it down immediately." She shook her head. "I downplayed it as a harmless student crush." "It was flattering," Matt offered. "Yes," she admitted. Matt waited. I was having furniture delivered to my apartment. It was heavy. Other things had to be moved around. I mentioned it to Raymond. He offered to help. I agreed. I saw nothing wrong with it at the time. She closed her eyes as if trying to block out the memory that followed. After we got everything arranged, he demanded sex. He didn't take no for an answer. Why didn't you report the incident? Matt asked. Tears streamed down her face again. He threatened to accuse me of rape, said his friends would back his story, claim I'd been pursuing him for weeks, that the whole affair was my doing. I knew how female teachers are treated in those scandals. Prison time, public humiliation, my name in headlines. My life would be over, and who would believe me over the star quarterback and his friends? I believe you, Matt said and studied her face. There's more, isn't there? She nodded. You'll feel better telling someone. He paused, realization dawning. You told Fogg. Another nod. Go on, Matt encouraged. I sent him some pictures. Pictures that could get you in trouble? Yes, she said. Was it just the one time? Matt asked. Number more than once. She stood suddenly, moving to the window. I don't see how any of this helps your investigation. I've had no contact with anyone from Vista Ridge since I left. My only goal was to escape and stay gone. I wanted nothing to do with any of them ever again. She turned back to face him. If I was going to kill them, I would have done it a long time ago. I know this is hard, but I need the full story. Raymond wouldn't stop. He helped himself to me whenever he wanted. First he came to my apartment. Then I'd have to go to him. He'd text an address, and I'd have to be there. No excuses. Sometimes he'd make me do things at school. Empty classrooms, storage closets, even his car in the back parking lot. The fear of being caught only excited him more. Sometimes he'd make me wear things I normally wouldn't wear to school. Nothing obvious, just little things only he would notice. A bracelet, no bra, certain colors, reminders that he controlled every part of my life. Once he made me perform on Ed Black while he watched. Said he wanted to share his toy. Her voice tightened. Ed seemed uncomfortable at first, but he didn't stop it. He took more pictures, made me pose for them, each one more compromising than the last. Insurance, he called it. I begged him to let me be. He just laughed. Did Hera know? Brittany laughed. She has you doing it too, I see. Calling her Hera? Brittany nodded. I do it too. Did she know what was happening? Brittany shook her head. I don't think so. I thought about going to her and telling her what was happening. Why didn't you? I was numb. It was like I was a zombie. You said you left at the end of the school year. Did Raymond just stop bothering you? Matt asked. Brittany shook her head again. Hardly. He kept calling and threatening. By that point, I had decided I preferred prison. I told him exactly that. He just laughed. I would hear from him occasionally, but his attempts became fewer and fewer. Eventually, he stopped calling. Anything else? Matt asked. Raymond Merrick had an evil soul agent, Barry. I'm not saying I'm glad he's dead, but I can't say I'm surprised either. What about Ed Black? Matt asked. You mentioned him? Brittany sighed. Ed was a follower. By himself, he was sweet, but around the others, he became just like them. What happened to the pictures? Matt asked. I've been worried sick about this since I heard the news. I keep thinking those pictures are going to surface. Not yet, Matt said. Did you hurt either of those boys? Number never. Matt fished a card out of his wallet. If you hear anything or think of anything, please call me. My cell phone number is at the bottom. Call me anytime.